Hello friends, my name is Adam.
And I'm Steve.
And we are
the Waypoint Explorers. One take.
Okay, so today we wanted to do a video kind of doing a summary of things we loved and things that we didn't love.
Things that could have been better, yeah.
Yes. On the Caribbean Princess. We took this cruise in November 2021, which feels like forever ago.
But it's only been 3 months, but it's a lifetime in cruising.
I will say, to preface this video, we went on this ship and it was the first time this specific ship, the Caribbean Princess, had sailed with guests since the shutdown from the pandemic. Mm-hmm. So some of the things that we mention in today's video could just be growing pains from that, but we still wanted to give you our honest opinions on this sailing that we went on.
Yeah, I agree. Some things are minor, some things were not necessarily related to the shutdown, but some things it just felt like things aren't just fully open yet, or just not ready, or first cruise jitters.
We're celebrating with our mules. That was our favorite drink of this series on this ship.
Grey Goose mules.
And if you would like to get one of these on the Caribbean Princess, make sure you go to the Wheelhouse and get one there, because I mean, even though they were good all over the ship, there was just extra special touches at the Wheelhouse. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna sandwich our maybe could be better or our needs improvement in between the good things, because we don't want this to just start negative or end negative, so we're gonna sandwich it. So we're gonna start off with 3 things we both loved about the Caribbean Princess. So do you want
more specifically our sailing, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your first thing that you loved?
I think the first thing I really loved was having that aft balcony. Oh, such a cool view.
Yeah.
Huge balcony too. I think bigger than normal. What a special treat it was for me.
It was so big, the balcony. I mean, I feel like we didn't spend a ton of time out there. I feel like we could have spent more time out there.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's so much ship, so I mean, you could argue the value of a balcony, I guess, or a special balcony or an upgraded. Depends how much time you spend in your room, really. But it was a really nice view, like getting on the ship and seeing that, and then waking up in the morning and seeing the wake, and it was great. I loved it. One
of my things that I loved about the ship was the daily entertainment. I liked the musical entertainment throughout the ship all day long. Some of our favorites were like the Sunset Duo, Opus, the house band. They were really good.
Dennis, the steel pan player.
Yeah.
Always some music.
There was always some music. There was always some game shows. There was, we watched Can You Beat the Cruise Director, which was really fun. We played some trivia.
The marriage show was hilarious.
Show was so funny. It was hard for me to cut that out of the video because I filmed the entire show and every bit of it was just a hoot, and I was laughing while we were editing, and so their daily entertainment was really good. I thought, like, you could always find something on the ship to do or something to enjoy in all the different venues.
I see. The next thing I really loved was the steel drum class. Oh, that was so much fun. Give you that Caribbean vibe, right? You're playing the pan, and it was Dennis, who was the musician, playing throughout the week. Also, taught a class, and there was, I don't know, about 20 people there, and we liked it so much, we bought one for home.
We did. I got Steve one for Christmas, but I've been using it just as much as him, I feel like. But it was nice. Every person had their own steel pan drum, a little tabletop thing. We didn't have to share, and we all kind of just learned a song, a classic steel pan tune, and it was really fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed that too.
It was awesome.
Okay, my next one that I loved is the promenade deck. I loved the promenade deck on this ship. It was on deck 7, right? It was deck 7, and it spanned the entire circumference of the ship. So you could walk the promenade around the entire ship. You could walk to the front and sit out there and just like enjoy the views and the sea breeze in your hair, or not. but it's like a
Ocean
classic cruise ship like deck. I don't know. You had some beautiful, nice wooden chairs that you could sit out there. You could just watch the wake as we were going, and
The lifeboats were hanging right there. That was
Yeah.
just kind of neat. So you really felt like you were on a ship, you know?
yeah. So I love the promenade deck.
Agreed. Let's see. Mine next. Oh, there's so many. I would say the drinks.
The drink.
I mean, I think the drinks were all. It was definitely elevated. Just everything had a unique twist. I think the quality of the alcohols that they use weren't bottom shelf. I mean, I think they weren't always super top shelf, but their base level was still a decent brand you probably would have heard of. And the Good Spirits Bar. I mean, they had some. That was a fun demonstration. But just the different drinks. They were just creative. They all had a little twist on something you've had. I don't really remember seeing any like fun rum punch or anything like that. That was just really sugary and cheap.
Yeah.
They didn't have that.
My next love for the Caribbean Princess is I loved the Lido deck. The deck 15, 16, you could hang out by the pool. There was more than enough chairs for anyone. Anytime you wanted to go there and relax, you could find a space.
Yeah, I mean, no loud music. It was maybe a little Caribbean music. It just very chill, very relaxing. It was great.
Yeah. Now we're gonna go into three things that we feel like could use improvement. What's your first?
I would say I think this is because this was the first cruise. Some of the casual specialty restaurants, so like the barbecue and the seafood place, they just weren't open. But I think I have seen that they are open now.
They're open now, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, barbecue on a cruise ship, that sounded great.
Yeah.
But it gave a little more variety, I think, versus
Yeah,
the
'cause
burgers and pizza.
You basically had slice or a salty grill, salty dog
buffet.
grill, or the buffet.
You could do the
dining
dining. You
room.
could, yeah. So a little disappointing. It's like I say, it's not the case for if you're cruising now, but
Yeah.
I was looking forward to it. But
Okay, my biggest needs improvement on this ship were the clocks. There was clocks all over the ship, analog, like big circle clocks, and none of them were working. And we did talk to a
an officer of
crew
some
member.
kind,
He was
yeah.
an officer, and he kind of just stopped us and asked us like how our trip was going, and we told him everything was great, and then we kind of made a comment about the clocks, like that none of them had the right time, and he was like, "Oh yes, the clocks."
he gets it all the time.
He said that they were analog and they have all just like kind of went, and there's no way to fix them. They went off time, but I don't know if I buy it, to be honest.
They could have covered.
I
it
don't
up
know
or
if I buy it,
something.
but I do feel like if that's the case, because they did light up at night too. So like
They're beautiful.
everything
though.
was working. Just put like a vinyl princess logo over it, so you don't even think that it's a clock, because there are times when you're in the pool and you look up at the clock and you're like, oh wait, that's not the right time.
Oh, it's 12 o'clock.
I mean, most other times it was fine because you had your cell phone with you and you could see the time, but that was a little bit frustrating.
Yeah, I did like how they looked, and I think it added to the feel of it. But like I say, they were just wrong. If it's going to be wrong, something like time, just cover it up or take it out.
Yeah. Okay, what's your next one?
Oh, my first thing that could be improved was.
You already did one. Now
Did I
this
do
is your
one? My
second.
other one? Oh, we had three, right?
Yeah.
It was so hard. I would say, and I think this is partially because of Shutdown 2, is there was really only one production show. And it really wasn't the style that we liked.
Yeah.
I know you've seen the video, right? It's the infamous Karen video. I don't know. It was all right. It was kind of a really standard old school show. And I think it was fine. I think they performed well. It's just the show was not spectacular really in any way. And the song selection didn't really resonate with us.
And the name of the show just made it seem like it was going to be something that it wasn't.
Yeah.
So that was a little frustrating.
We thought we were going to put on our Broadway hats on, and
We
we were just
vented.
like, what is this stuff?
We vented in that.
Yeah, watch the video.
Okay, my next could use improvement on this ship was the buffet. And now I stated this in the videos too. I am not a fan of buffets outside of cruise ships. Like I wouldn't go to the Golden Corral. It's just not my thing. But the buffet on the cruise line was good. Like the food was decent, but I guess my complaints with the buffet is we're in a time now where they're serving you, which I actually really like.
I did like that.
I kind of hope that stays because it was kind of nice. Usually I feel like I tend to overfill or get too big of portions, and with them serving, they kind of give you a decent portion.
Yeah, helps with food waste, which is good for everyone really.
But there wasn't always someone stationed at a spot where you needed something, and then it was like, do I just stand here and wait awkwardly, or do I grab the spoon myself?
Yeah.
It was a little weird because there's so many different ways to access the buffet from different sides. It's like they only had the name of something on one side. So if you were accessing it from another side, you didn't really know what you were getting.
Yeah,
I mean, you could
take the brown.
You could visually see it, but you didn't know what was in it, or
I think on the first day I was like, oh, this Waldorf salad,
yeah,
and it was
but it was-
potato salad because it looked the same.
yeah.
But the food was pretty good. I think. I mean,
There's some hits or misses.
I'm cheating on with you, but I thought like the salad bar was kind of weak. But
Yeah.
I mean, but it was the food selection. I think it was easier to eat a little healthier than maybe like other cruise lines. So
Yeah.
the food they had was good and some interesting selections. But
Yeah, most of my qualms are just with like organizing and labeling and communication of like what we could and couldn't do.
that I think buffets are just stressful in general.
They are, yeah. Especially if you're trying to carry a camera through. Okay, what's your last needs improvement?
My last one, I think, I don't say the condition of the ship, but it was partially renovated, like 2019. But I think in the parts that weren't renovated, you could really tell. I mean, it was almost like a different
Stark contrast.
Like the newer stuff was a little more contemporary, modern, like the newer ships. But the older one was older, and maybe some things were a little bit worn. Wasn't bad. It wasn't like this is off-putting, but you could definitely tell it wasn't a full refit, which costs money.
We were really kind of searching for things we didn't like. Like we really,
Yeah.
the list of things we loved was much longer.
A
than what
little
we did.
dent in a door, a little nick in the furniture,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
My last needs improvement was the chairs in the Princess Theater. I'm not a big man at all, and I felt uncomfortable in the chairs, so I don't imagine how other people could feel in them. And it just didn't feel very inclusive to the audience.
Think like airline seat.
Yeah,
They were about that size.
but
width.
they had like,
But
they
the
had solid wood arms. So you had to just like squeeze down in there, so there was no wiggle room at all.
They looked nice.
They do. It was a beautiful theater.
Yeah.
So my issue isn't with the theater itself, just the seats. They need to either figure out a way to get bigger seats in there or more inclusive
Maybe
seats.
a few, seats maybe in the back. Maybe they did, but
All right, now
going back to positive
let's
notes,
cushion it off and finish this video off with the positive. Some more positives.
I think a big one I had was the actual medallion, the technology. So it wasn't just technology for technology's sake. I feel like where they had it just added to the experience, but didn't take away from kind of that classic feel. Just being able to get into your door without having to like fumble around for a key card.
Oh my gosh. That was the best.
You weren't really asked all the time for your card to scan it if you wanted to drink. They could tell from proximity, and your picture shows up on their pad, and they're just like, okay, that's the person. I'll just add it there. I don't know. I think it just really helps with the service.
Oh yeah, when it worked, it was amazing. I think at first we got frustrated because I didn't know what it was supposed to be doing, and that kind of those kinks worked themselves out. It was so nice.
It was great.
Now that
They
I've been
track
on
you down.
another cruise with a different cruise line, I was hoping and like yearning for the medallion.
You really noticed it when you
Yeah.
didn't have it. When you had it, it was like, oh, this is nice. That's pretty cool. But then when you didn't have it, you're just like, wow, that was a really nice thing.
Like having to wear a lanyard with my key card. I know it's very nitpicky, but I was just like, I wish I had that medallion again. Because it was nice. You got like within 5 feet of your door and it unlocked. I mean, it didn't open obviously because you have to open it, but it unlocked. You could order food wherever you were on the ship and they'd bring it to you. That was that was very nice. Okay. One of the things that I loved was the staff and the service on this ship. And I am still like raving about how amazing that staff was and the service. I think you could have any cruise line with like all the bells and whistles and all the cool stuff, but if you have bad service, it makes the trip not enjoyable. This ship doesn't have a ton of bells and whistles
No.
because it's an older ship. But the staff made the whole experience just like 100% worth it. Like I fell in love with Princess Cruises because of how we were treated and truly felt like a little family.
Yeah, I remember at one point saying, what if the world just treated everybody like they were on a Princess Cruise? Gosh,
Yeah.
that's cheese alert. But I mean, just saying everybody was just saying hello, hi, you know, it was nice.
Smiles, even if they had masks on, you could see the smiles.
And I think it even affected the other passengers too, right? If the crew is really extra friendly, you know, you kind of go with it. You're friendly
Yeah.
too.
Okay, so what's the last love?
Last thing I love, I think, is the overall vibe of the ship. It's very relaxed. We got done with that vacation and we were just like, oh, that was nice. We're just.
I didn't want
relaxed
to
and
leave the ship.
No, but you know, like
I
I
was
say,
getting emotional.
we talked about the friendliness. Fewer kids. There weren't many kids on there. There weren't any like water slides like you were talking about, and didn't miss that because I think that added to the relaxed vibe, right? It was just
Yeah, you could lay out on the Lido deck and not have like screaming or, you know, kids will be kids. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but
No.
sometimes it doesn't aid in the relaxation on a cruise ship.
so yeah, didn't miss the bells and whistles because it was just like, you know, you're just at a resort laying out by the pool with some nice music.
Yeah.
It was great.
All right, the last thing that I loved about the Caribbean Princess was the bed. That bed was so incredibly comfortable.
You know, like a cloud.
Oh my gosh. I'm not even a picky person about beds, but that bed was just so cozy.
Yeah.
And I was so excited to like climb into it every night. I don't know.
We went to bed at 7:00.
The second we laid on the bed, I was just like, oh, this is a nice bed.
Yeah.
And you said that they're known for their beds.
Yeah, the princess bed. And I don't know. I think you can buy those, but they're not
should.
cheap.
Well,
It's another cruise.
yeah. But all in all, love it or leave it. I think for me, Princess, love it. Mm-hmm.
Definitely doing it again.
Yeah.
I think I would like to try our newer ship.
Me too.
Next time, just to see what the differences are and just to compare it with some of the other, you know, I would say similarly aged ships.
Yeah. But definitely we'll be taking Princess Cruise again at some point in the future.
But I would still take an older ship too, if you really like that older, warmer vibe and just a classic.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the wood,
Yeah, nothing wrong with the ships
lacquered
at all.
wood. It was so great. And I'm really glad that this was kind of my first big extended cruise experience because it was just a blast. Leave us a comment down below and let us know if you've taken Princess Cruise and what your favorite thing was about Princess Cruises. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. The link is down in the description below, Waypoint Explorers. We will be posting our future cruises and content on there. And
And we have another series coming up pretty soon.
yeah, the Oasis of the Seas.
Ooh.
So don't forget to subscribe, click that notification bell so you know when we post a video. And as always, we appreciate you hanging out with us. And
Toodaloo.
bye, friends.
Bye.
Toodaloo.
Toodles.